Welcome to Easy Math TV. We're going to study another application of quadratic functions. Sometimes the application is not all that obvious. We're going to return to our baseball stadium where we have a seating capacity of 60,000. When tickets sell for $18, there are 28,000 seats sold. When the price is $15, there are 35,000 seats sold. This problem should look familiar. It was handled in a previous video. Actually, that was the question where we were trying to set up the demand equation for price as a function of quantity. So we were being asked that. So we have the same numbers as that spreadsheet that we had before, but now we're being asked what ticket price would maximize revenue. So we're looking to maximize revenue. And it just a fact that revenue is price times quantity. And since quantity is a variable x and price is also a linear equation based on x, when you multiply two linear things, you get a quadratic thing. And it may not be all that obvious from our table here, but that's exactly what we're about to see happen. So over here in column G, I've added a new column. Revenue equals x times y because x is the quantity and y is the price. So I went ahead and typed in the equation, the formula for that in column G. So the very first value that we have on our table is when x is equal to 14. In other words, 14,000 tickets sold. That happened when the price was $24. So if we want to know what the revenue was, we multiply that 14 times 24. And whatever number we get, that's in thousands now. So basically 14,000 people in the stands all bought tickets at $24 a piece. So our revenue was $336,000. And let me just move this question aside. We're going to go ahead and fill that down in our table. So we skipped a lot of values here. We actually went from x equals 14 to 21 to 28 and did basically multiples of 7 down to 56. And now we can see what happens, what the pattern is with our revenue. And we can actually see the symmetry happening because we actually get two of the same exact values here. So that is that property of symmetry when we're talking about quadratic relationships. And it's not obvious that revenue is a quadratic relationship here, but it is because we had to multiply a linear thing, which was x, times another linear thing, which was our y. Remember, we've talked about linear patterns before and how to recognize linear patterns in numbers. And whenever you're multiplying two linear things, you get a quadratic thing. So there's our symmetry. And that tells me that right in the middle, whenever there are two outcomes that are exactly the same, the maximum or the minimum has to occur right smack dab in the middle of those two things. So this one right here, when we sell 35,000 seats at $15 a pop, we're making $525,000. And you don't have to take my word for it. We can go over here and we can highlight all of our X values. And on a Mac, I have to hit the Control key and go over here and highlight our revenue values. And I'm actually going to show you what a graph of that looks like. And I'm actually going to put markers on this. So I'm going to put a scatter plot with smooth lines and markers so that you can actually see there is my vertex right there. And it occurs at the point that had 35,000 in sales. So let's go ahead and put our data value on that. That is the point 335, 525. Now, that doesn't tell us what the price is, that just tells us that we do have a vertex there, that is in fact our maximum. And so we can answer our question. We can go up here and we can say, okay, we see that the vertex, that the maximum occurs when the price, which is our y value, so let's just look up in the table, what is the price that at that point when our revenue was 525,000, the price under the y is 15. So we can answer that over here is $15. Whoops, that should be a dollar sign there. And so $15 is the maximum, is the answer to the question, because that's when our revenue will be the highest. Like, subscribe, comment down below, share these videos with people. You know, they're hopefully they're helping you to use Excel in a very powerful way to answer very tough math questions.